There's lots of videos out there on jointers and lots of good tips on how to set them up. But what I don't see a lot of is how to actually use a jointer. I use a jointer on a daily basis, and in this video, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks that will help you get better results while jointing lumber. Before we begin jointing any boards, we need to think about what we're trying to achieve. And, you know, if we're doing, say, a bunch of material for kitchen cabinet doors, there's going to be lots of different sizes, from quite small to potentially quite big if we've got some tall cabinets or something. In that case, any tall doors, we need to pick out the material and use the straightest material possible for those. And, you know, anything with big bows or whatever in it, then, you know, obviously we'll cut that up perhaps and use that for shorter rails and styles. So, you know, think about that before we even start using the jointer.
So if the boards that you have purchased are relatively flat, then getting it perfect over the jointer is really not going to be too much of an issue. However, it's wood. It never comes perfect, well, rarely comes perfect. This board, for example, has a bit of an S curve to it, and it's definitely twisted. So, you know, with this board, I'm actually going to probably take a cut of about 2 millimeters. In fact, I might even go a little more on this board. I'm going to actually go with the biggest part of the bow. So the biggest part of bow is there, and then it starts to hook up on this end in the opposite direction. So I'm actually going to try and sort of halve the twist just with my fingers on this end. I'm going to try and remain fairly stationary. I don't want to be moving around too much, and I don't want to be moving my hands around too much. I want to try and, you know, once I get especially out onto the outfeed table, I'm going to sort of maybe let the board slip under my hand until I've got enough board out onto the outfeed table that I can actually, you know, keep moving. So let's just fire the machine up and see how she goes.
Okay, so I have a nice solid stance. I'm pushing the board through with my right hand, and I've got enough pressure on the board with my left hand to keep it in contact with the table as it goes over the cutter head. I move my left hand over the guard, and at first I let the board slip under my hand whilst holding it down on the outfeed table. Once my right hand is close to the guard, I'm going to grasp the board with my left hand so I can move my right hand over the guard. At all times, I have at least one hand holding the board and keeping it in a position that will give me the best result in as fewer passes as possible.
All right, so I actually got that in one pass. Now this way it's actually rocking. So I've got a high spot in the middle, but that's actually the sawn face. So I'm going to take more passes getting this rough sawn edge down. So what I'm actually going to do here is start with the board part the way through. So you can sort of see there's a bit of a rock there. So yeah, so I'm going to get that going. I'm going to lift that up when I do it, and we'll joint this one edge. It'll take a couple more goes probably. So
when jointing the edge, I have the Euro guard set up so it helps hold the board tight against the fence. As I feed the board, I'm applying pressure with my left hand against the fence with just enough pressure downward to keep it on the outfeed table. Almost all of the forward motion is coming from my right hand. Again, you'll notice my strong stance and very few unnecessary movements with any part of my body.
So there you go. Basically all I'm going to do here is mark the direction of the grain, pop that over there, and that's now ready to go through the thickness planer. What if we need to joint some longer, heavier boards? Well, in this case, I'm lucky that I can actually put these table extensions on, or bed extensions on this jointer, which really give me quite a long surface to joint with. I've got a piece of quarter sawn fir here that's 6 inches by 2 inches. So I'm going to set up, I'll have the guard just above the material, and I'll just feel, so I'm feeling for the grain here with the rough sawn material. It's much easier to feel for the grain than look or see. And I can feel that it's definitely grabbing more running my hand this way than this way. This way is quite smooth. So, you know, flipping it over that way, it would be going with the grain, and obviously the way I've got it, it's going with the grain. There's a slight bow to this. It's not too bad. I'm going to go with about 1.5 millimeters.
So just like with the shorter board, I'm trying to minimize how much I move my hands and body. I take a couple of steps before settling into a nice strong stance and use just enough pressure on the board to keep it in contact with the jointer beds. Again, when jointing the edge, I'm using the assistance of the guard and primarily holding it against the fence with my left hand while moving it forward with my right to get that square edge. Without the bed extensions, this would be a little harder, but not impossible.
Square. All right. So nice and square. If I'm going to joint a lot of this, if I've got a lot of doors, and I will actually set up the power feeder and run them through on that. It just makes it a heck of a lot easier to run through a lot of material. It's physically way less demanding on the body. So let's set up the power feeder on the jointer and run some 1x6 and start getting that prepped.
So it's a fairly simple process with this machine to set up the power feeder. Want about 1/4 to 1/2 an inch of sort of pressure down. It's not super straight. I will try and keep as much of the guard, the cutter head guarded as I possibly can. Keep myself safe. I think we are good there. There we go. So I've got it running at 6 meters per minute. Okay, let me grab some boards and we'll start running them through. Alrighty, so here we go. I've got some material ready. So we'll just run this through. Show you just how easy this is with the power feeder. We haven't quite got it on that first pass, but one more pass, obviously, we'll get that cleaned up nicely, and it will be ready for the for running straight through the thicknesser. So yeah, you can see just how easy that is, eh? Like very, very little effort, and for, like I say, for something like baseboard or TNG flooring, running it through with the power feeder makes all the difference when you've got a bunch of material to run. So and in fact this material is going to be basically 2.5, 2 3/4 of an inch wide. So I will actually use the power feeder on the rip saw or on the saw to rip it down to width before I run it through the shaper to get my TNG profile. So anyway, that's basically a few different tips and tricks, if you like, for using the jointer. If you have any questions on other techniques or whatever, or you're having difficulty with jointing lumber, leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll try and make sure that I answer it for you. Yeah, and if you like this video and you'd like to see more content like this, please hit like and remember to subscribe. So thanks very much.